Good evening and welcome on 10 Bold to Saturday night football in the Isuzu UTE League. AAMI Park, the setting for the second grand final rematch of the season. It's the champions, Western United, against last season's twice defending premiers, Melbourne City. It's the 350th A-League match for Melbourne City, and they'll be looking to celebrate that milestone in style, a win over the champions, and City will move 6 points clear at the top of the table while still awaiting the decision about that abandoned Melbourne derby as well. It could almost be double figures as we approach the midway point of the season. No changes for Melbourne City, who are looking to make it 3 wins on the trot. Their 4-3-3 formation, Thomas Lamb and Curtis Good holding the fort in the centre of midfield. The ever-present fullbacks Callum Talbot and Jordan Boss on the flanks. Valon Berisha has also started every match so far this season in the middle of the park. And up front, it's the Socceroo trio of Matt Leckie and Marco Tilio either side of the record breaker, Jamie McLaren, who wears the captain's armband, looking to score in a 10th match in a row. Also of note, Florent Berenguer, the Frenchman, is back on the bench for the first time this season. One change for John Aloisi's Western United. They've rediscovered their defensive solidity, so no changes at the back despite the return of Nikolai Topor-Stanley from suspension. It's Leo Lacroix and Tomoki Imai there. The one change is further up the pitch, where Nick Milanovic makes his 3rd start of the season at the expense of the Italian veteran Alessandro Diamanti, who drops back to the bench. Milanovic will be partnering Prijovic up front. Those two have 3 goals each this season. There's still no Steven Lustica or James Troisi, sidelined with injury. Well, it's been a big season so far for that man, Jamie McLaren. This evening he wears the captain's armband, looking to make it 10 out of 10 for scoring goals this season. It's Melbourne City, the premiers, who can take a huge step towards a 3rd premier's plate. We're not even at the halfway point of the season, but they've suffered just 1 defeat this campaign, and it will take something special from the defending champions, Western United, who have found some form of late, Daniel McBreen, but are a long way off tackling that top of the table.
Well, yeah, they're still down the bottom. Good evening, Robbie, all our viewers out there. Well, they're the benchmark, aren't they, Melbourne City? They've been the form team, setting the standard week in, week out. And I think when you look at this Western United team, you could probably say that, let's draw a line in the sand. Since Prijovic, Doumbia and Tomoki Imai have come back in, results have started to change for them, and they're starting to look like the team of last year.
Here's Doumbia. Oh, Connor Payne's no-look pass as Garuccio was charging forward. Here goes Tilio. Numbers forward for City. Tilio, great pace. Tilio deflected, and Tilio scores. 9 minutes in, and City are in front, and it's their Socceroo, Marco Tilio, who does the damage.
When Marco Tilio picked up that ball, he looked like he was looking for the pass with the forward runners. The Harvey Norman replay will show as the ball was given away there by Connor Payne. He picks up the ball and has a look forward. He's got plenty of support play. But as you can see here, the space just kept opening up, and they invited him to run. Leo Lacroix went round him like he wasn't even there and tucked it in the bottom corner. All self. One man on a mission. Leo Lacroix was stood up and may have been deflected in from Neil Kenny getting back to help. See there as he tries to play it in the far corner, a little bit fortuitous, but John Aloisi won't be happy with that defending. And Melbourne City take the lead early in this match.
He did have to wait. Oh, there's some nice feet from Leckie, who lines up. Low to his left, Jamie Young, who's only kept 2 clean sheets this season, will be furious about conceding that early goal, but there he was solid.
It was lovely feet from Matt Leckie, wasn't it? You see there again, plenty of time to look up, assess the situation.
As there's been a slip. Leckie, square ball, own goal. Leo Lacroix, 12 minutes in, and it's 2-0. And for the second time this season, in the grand final replay, Leo Lacroix has scored for the wrong side.
Well, he's going to hate the sight of these Melbourne City shirts, isn't he? He was at big fault for the first one. As we see on the Harvey Norman replay, no real danger here, and it's Jamie McLaren with the press, a slip, and then it was big trouble from there. And he had to reach for it, Leo Lacroix. He was put in a hopeless position, and it's the slip from MI that really causes the problem. And Leo Lacroix, he's left 3v1, has to stick out a leg, and unfortunately for him, he drags it back into his own net. And it's a calamitous start for Western United.
Still, Matt Leckie did that wonderfully well. They celebrate the goal. Leckie just with a word to Jamie McLaren, saying you're going to have to work for this goal if you want to score in 10 matches in a row. But poor old Leo Lacroix, one of the stars. Now with Tilio again. Look at the numbers forward. It's a good ball for O'Neill. Corner as they keep the pressure on here.
Well, it was a fantastic run from Aidan O'Neill. A lovely ball as well from Marco Tilio. And he had the opportunity, Aidan O'Neill, to take it with the right foot. But when he opened his body up to use the left, he just gave Doumbia the opportunity to get in.
Here he is again, spraying the ball wide for Tilio. McLaren wants it. McLaren takes a touch, and it's 10 out of 10 for Jamie McLaren. He is just unstoppable, and the beard grows a little bit longer for City's hitman. Well, he can't miss. 13 goals in 10 matches. The A-League record continues for Jamie McLaren.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay will show it's just all too easy, isn't it? Marco Tilio has been enjoying himself so far in this match, and he just looks up. And Western United have just left Jamie McLaren, the best marksman in the league, all on his own around the penalty spot, with all the time in the world to take a touch and pick his spot. And he duly responds by tucking it away into the bottom corner. That man is a freak, and you can't give him the time and space around your goal or you will be punished. 3-0, and aren't they enjoying themselves?
Early ball. Leckie, what a control. He just dropped it onto his foot. I think he might even have impressed himself there, Matt Leckie.
Well, he impressed me, I can tell you. That is a skill. On full pace, under pressure. Look at that, into the path. And credit to Moki Imai, great defending, but that touch there is exquisite. That is a player high on confidence, high on ability, and high on talent.
Well, he flew the flag in Germany for so many years, but it is so good to have him back here. And the ball in is a good one. The header from Curtis Good. Well, he's another exceptionally talented footballer, Curtis Good. Under pressure from Leckie. He just don't get away. Berisha, clever pass for O'Neill. Van de Ven, look out, because here they come. Tilio against Garuccio again. Tilio taking him on down the outside. Van de Ven now. A little pass. McLaren touches wide. Great save. And a save that had to be made from Jamie Young, even from an impossible angle. McLaren almost made it 4. Here's Lacroix. 30 seconds left in the first half. Garucco's early ball, it's an easy one for Glover, who's bundled over by Milanovic. Referee Ali Reza Fagani says put it down, free kick. Milanovic, not too much in it, but just enough.
He could have stopped, I believe. He
could have stopped.
Thought he'd let him know that he's there.
Half-time at AAMI Park, and it was one-way traffic. Plenty of food for thought for John Aloisi and Western United. Love to be a fly on the wall in that changing room over the next 15 minutes. It was an electric start from the Premiers, Melbourne City, who seem intent on exacting revenge each and every time they take on Western United after last season's grand final defeat. It's been a scintillating opening 45 minutes. Jamie McLaren's in the record books again. Half-time in Melbourne, City 3, United 0. Referee gets the sign from the sideline, and the second half is underway. One change for John Aloisi, who has taken off Nick Milanovic, the youngster who was playing on the right side of the attack, and brought on Dylan Parias, who is probably not so technical, not as creative as Milanovic, but plenty of pace down that right-hand side, and an eye for goal as well, Dylan Parias. And perhaps that is the key, Daniel McBreen, to getting back into the game. You just need one.
Yeah, and I'm sure John Aloisi said to his players that it's a clean slate. Let's go out there now and try and get an early goal, and let's win this second half. You get a goal early, well, then everything can change. Momentum can shift, and you might find yourself all of a sudden back in the game. But as Archie Thompson said, when you've got a team like Melbourne City, there's always that danger that the other end can be opened up.
Well, Tilio skipping past challenges, all too easy. Here's Leckie. Look at the space for Leckie to run into. McLaren ahead of him. The little pass looking for Marco Tilio. And Western United can bring the ball back under control. Well, the cliche is you try and win the half. This second half is a strong challenge in it. Wry smile from those two. One over the top for Parias. Oh, great early ball. Oh, that was so very nearly the moment. Applauded by John Aloisi. What a goal that would have been from Alexander Prijovic.
Well, the substitute having an immediate impact. Pace, as you mentioned, down the right-hand side, an early ball in, and Prijovic on the stretch and the half volley, or on the bounce.
Curtis Good again. O'Neill able to turn, and he lets fly, and they're just finding extra numbers in the middle of the park every time, Melbourne City.
And they had the numbers on that break as well. Marco Tilio on that occasion deciding to play the pass, which was probably the right idea. Matt Leckie just miscued his first touch, and that really killed the moment.
Oh, it's Lacroix under pressure from McLaren. And that is just symptomatic of everything that's going wrong at the back for Western United this evening, but also this season.
Well, the eyes from Jamie Young there really showed it, didn't it? They told a story. He doesn't really look where he's playing it. Jamie Young's thinking, well, I'm struggling to get there. That's out for a corner. It was a little roll of the eyes and a look from Jamie Young that said, what on earth are you doing to me?
Lacroix just can't quite believe it. Here's Tilio. Chipping the ball in. Leckie wanted it on the left. It might yet fall. Van der Ven. Well, they were just lining up all over the park. They've got numbers everywhere, and no one doing much defending.
You hit the nail on the head there, Robbie. It's blue shirts everywhere. The green are all at sea. You see here, they're lining up, getting out of each other's way so they can take turns at having a pot shot.
Depending on what's decided for the abandoned Melbourne derby, whether it will be a 3-0 victory, whether the result will be as it stood, 1-0, whether the game will be replayed. I guess we're still in the dark awaiting the official word. But their lead this evening at the top of the table will be 6 points over the Central Coast Mariners. Without that game, as here's Boss bending it on the right boot, and Jamie Young could only watch as it went wide of his left hand upright.
Well, it was a great run, and you see here the underlapping run. And the captain took the runners away and gave him the space for Geordie Bose to try and bend that ball into the far corner.
Oh, it's Prijovic that time. His touch lets him down. Glover. Very, very lucky to get away with that. Jamison. Berenguer. Jamison again with Thomas Lamb. Berenguer wants it. Lamb looks further afield. Van der Ven with McLaren. Van der Ven. McLaren's at the back post. The Dutchman holds it up. Naboo making the run. Naboo! Oh, what a finish! Off the bench and onto the score sheet. Andrew Naboo with the icing on the cake. 6 minutes from time.
Well, for a moment it looked like the chance had gone when Van der Ven was stood up. They break here. It's a wonderful 1-2 combination. The Harvey Norman replay shows just here. We thought he was going to cross, and now it looks like it may be lost. But look at the run from Naboo through the legs, and a lovely finish over the on-brushing Jamie Young from Andrew Naboo. First touch, second touch over the keeper. Exquisite play from Melbourne City, and it all started there with the forward ball. Fantastic. And you see here, through the legs, and there's nothing that Jamie Young can do.
Boss. Fouled again by Diamanti. Frustrating evening for him. Nunoresh. So a final change and a chance for another special home ovation for Jamie McLaren, and his goal-scoring exploits most definitely deserve it as well.
Well, he's an unbelievable talent, isn't he? 10 games on the trot now, he's scored. And you can't leave a man with that immense talent, such a quality finisher, that much space. He will punish you. And he looks extremely happy to have come off.
He's probably saying, you should have passed me the ball here. There was this opportunity. You didn't pass to me here. You could have passed to me. Some might argue.
Stats don't lie.
The Mariners were a very good side during that period as well. First time ball from Diamanti's a good one for Parias. He turns inside, but look at that. 4 city blue shirts around him as he turned inside, and then Berenguer looking long for Galloway. Dresden holding front position. Connor Payne. 90 seconds left in stoppage time before Western United are put out of their misery. Is there to be some consolation for them? Diamante, it's nicely done. Pushing 40, but he's still got all the tricks and the technique. But he can't find Prijovic. The Noresh, who's just come on in these final moments to exercise a few demons of his own from that grand final last season. And here he is, former Portugal Youth International. Van der Ven dispossessed. Strong challenge trap. Piraeus onto the right foot.
And he's shown positive signs tonight, Dylan Piraeus, since he's come on. He's been a willing opponent and getting forward, getting balls in the box. It's created some half opportunities. And what has been a rather lacklustre performance from Western United. As we said earlier, they put plenty of balls in the box, but none really finding the mark. They've been totally outclassed tonight by a Melbourne City team that, honestly, I can't see anyone at this stage chasing down. They are just so well-oiled. Fantastic throughout. Subs that come off the bench. Another great performance from them tonight.
An 8th win in 10 outings this season for Melbourne City. A demonstration from go to woe. A record extended for Jamie McLaren. He's now scored 13 this season in each of the 10 matches that Melbourne City have contested. Andrew Naboo got on the score sheet himself for the first time this season with a lovely finish. Leo Lacroix's nightmarish campaign continues as he has a few sympathetic words from Florent Berenguer in their native tongue. John Aloisi. They often say the season after winning the league is the toughest. It's coming true for John Aloisi and Western United. It's back to the drawing board for them. But take nothing away from this performance from Melbourne City, who now go 6 points clear at the top. Tilio, a Lacroix own goal, Jamie McLaren again, as if we needed to say it, and Andrew Naboo. It's finished at AAMI Park. Melbourne City 4, Western United 0.